So I was rewatching Return to Neverland, and despite the obvious flaw in the title, because, Jane has never been to Neverland, so how can she return there? But ouch, is that movie a lot more depressing than I remembered? We open in London during World War II, and we find a very stern Jane, who is Wendy's daughter, having to run her household because Wendy has decided to cope with the war by endlessly telling Peter Pan stories instead of making sure that her daughter isn't forced to run errands during an air raid. And come on, the movie even starts off with Jane's dad going off to war and telling Jane she's got to take care of her mother and baby brother Danny. So Jane is getting parentified almost as soon as she can talk. It's no wonder that she has a hard time in Neverland, but what I want to talk about most today is Peter Pan himself and why Wendy seems to be both important and unimportant to Peter, and to get your thoughts on what their relationship actually is. Hey guys, you have a sick McGann, and you're watching the Fangirl, where I cross my arms and wag my finger at all of your childhood favorites. Jane would approve. And you know what struck me as odd while watching Return to Neverland? How Peter Pan manages to flitter around and somehow end up with every girl he meets falling hopelessly in love with him. It seems to be every female too, because for reasons, Neverland is populated with mythical creatures like mermaids, fairies, and even Native Americans. Yet all the girls, from Tinkerbell to every single mermaid to Tiger Lily, are all into Peter Pan, and he knows it and even somewhat flirts back and tries to use it to his advantage. But why do they even like him? There's nothing even particularly special about Peter. He's just a kid having fun and living his life, and he's completely unbothered by things like hygiene. And right now as an adult, I'm noticing that there's a theme in these movies where ladies are literally chasing down this emotionally unavailable guy. Because Peter has no girlfriend, and seemingly has no interest in pursuing any kind of relationship with girls. I know some of you think that Peter and Wendy are a thing, but remember, Peter wanted Wendy to be his mommy, not his girlfriend. For a guy who's 122 years old, he actually stays frozen around 12 to 13, and while everybody is different and there's no wrong answers, it does seem like Peter is right about the age where youth become interested in dating. But as we know, Peter rejects all things adultish in favor of staying young forever. And I have wondered for many years whether or not Wendy has the significance to Peter that we, the audience, believes that she does. I'm honestly not sure, because Peter seems to be making regular trips around England in order to abduct children who have open windows and then hold them hostage until he feels like allowing those children to go home. I mean, come on. Even the original Peter Pan movie ends with Wendy's father George saying that he's seen that flying ship before, back when he was very young. So Peter has a real notorious habit of kidnapping and randomly returning various children. And then he just, plops the ship back in Neverland and starts the cycle with the pirates all over again like the Matrix? Well, that's a different issue. But all this is to say, there's no way that Wendy was the first or final little girl that Peter has taken. In fact, when Jane calls herself the first lost girl, and she's all proud of that, Peter doesn't say anything. Literally, the boy keeps his mouth zipped and doesn't confirm or deny Jane's statement. Now, even considering the fact that we don't know how many children have come and gone to Neverland since Wendy left, wasn't Wendy herself technically a lost girl? I know, some of the hardcore fans are gonna jump on me here and be like, Wendy was their mother, not one of the boys. But honestly, that's kind of sad. Poor Wendy not only gets parentified at home, where she's forced to take care of her younger brothers while her parents go out until 11 p.m., but then she finds some some escapism with Neverland, which Wendy only goes to because she doesn't want to be forced to grow up and leave the nursery in her house. And then bam, Peter forces her to be the mother of 9 unruly boys. Ain't that just the way? No wonder the girl wants to go back home. At least back in London, she's only responsible for the 2 siblings and not a bunch of feral wackadoo kids. So here's the real question, and I don't have an answer for this. This video is more of a thought experiment for the comment section, but with all of this in mind, once Wendy goes home, would Peter have replaced her with another girl? Would he be seeking out a new mother? Or would Peter think that all mothers are terrible and then refuse to willingly take other girls to Neverland ever again? And before you answer, also keep in mind that at the end of Return to Neverland, Wendy is a bit obsessed with Peter herself. She's longingly looking out the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of him when Jane comes back. But instead of saying hi, Peter seriously tried to hide and not be noticed by Wendy until Tinkerbell gives his position away. She's like, no, you go to your side piece. You get confronted. But why does he hide? Pan does as he pleases with no real thought or signs of remorse towards anyone else. Even when he returns Wendy home in the first movie, he seems to decide to do that on a whim. Wendy's feelings on the matter didn't mean a ton to him. So why wouldn't Peter interact with adult Wendy like any other person? If Peter has mommy issues and wanted Wendy to act as his own mother, even though they were the same age when they met, then here's Wendy as an adult, as a mother, as exactly what Pan wanted. Then why is it that Peter seems slightly embittered that Wendy grew up? He just has this touch of an attitude like, oh, you've changed. But heck, there's a whole war going on across Europe. Why not scoop up Wendy's entire family and take them to Neverland to be safe? We've seen examples that adults can live there too, so what's the problem? Again, unfortunately, this is all food for thought because I can't draw a solid conclusion yet. So I'd love to have you all weigh in on this subject in the comments. Does Wendy matter to Peter in any significant way, or was she just one of many children in the revolving door that is Neverland kidnapping? I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. And to any of my members here on YouTube, a huge bottom of my heart thank you for all of your help and support. If you would like to become a paid channel member, there is a link in the description below. Thanks again, guys. Love you. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that? Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Family and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share 1 or 2 on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.